Number 2 for Melbourne United, Tyson Walker. Number 3, Campbell Ward. Number 4, Dash Daniels. Number 7, Finn Delaney. Number 9, Malik Mitchell. Number 12, Tom Wilson. Number 13, Tanner Brooks. Number 15, Paul Howard. Number 20, Fabian Krustovich. Number 22, Nick Tata. Number 30, Tom Roberts. Number 32, Henry Sewell. Number 35, Milton Doyle. And number 61, Christian Dean Doyle. They are coached by David Barlow, assisted by Reece Carter, David Chance, Jack Fleming, and David Bird.
Well, it's time for this crosstown rivalry to resume. It's a pre-season throwdown at the State Basketball Centre for the second straight year as the South East Melbourne Phoenix host Melbourne United in the Heartland. Tom Hirsch with you once again, and I'm joined in commentary by Jamie Hamilton. Jamie, welcome back to SBC.
Well, it's good to be back. It's like we never left, but a bit of a different matchup between, for the South East Melbourne Phoenix in this game. Pretty much full-strength Melbourne United, and if it's anything to go by, the last time these two teams met in the preseason, where it was a double overtime thriller, then we're in for an absolute treat in this game, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Last year's game was really well contested. It was kind of a case of last man standing, given minutes restrictions in preseason and things like that. But tonight I think should be great as well. There are a couple of names not taking the floor. We'll get to that in a minute. But both these teams had their first hit out of preseason earlier in the week. Of course, the Phoenix hosted the Cairns Taipans here on Tuesday night, taking care of business 108-86. And Melbourne United faced that same Cairns Taipans team on Thursday night at Casey Basketball Stadium. Got it done pretty easily there as well, 116-91. Well, we're going to pause for a moment here as the national anthems are just about to get underway, and we'll be back with all the action and give you a bit of an intro about who is playing tonight just after that. On second note, no anthem, so we'll stay with you, and we've got about 12 minutes till tip-off now. Jamie, let's talk through some of the new faces that are on board for both teams. We might start with visiting Melbourne United.
Well, a pretty different lineup to what we saw last year. Plenty of outs, one of whom is actually playing for the South East Melbourne Phoenix in the Ketchalia. But, you know, we know the big names. We've spoken a bit about them. Tyson Walker, the import guard. And, of course, not here yet, Jesse Edwards, the big man who's just coming off of national team duty with the Netherlands. But, excuse me, I think the big name in terms of the locals is the next star in Dash Daniels, someone that you and I got to watch for a good chunk of the off-season with the Sandringham Sabres, and coming straight off of representing Australia at the Asia Cup. So he's one. He played a good chunk of minutes on Thursday night, but another chance to watch him.
Indeed, and of course that's his second national duty this off-season. He was away with the Emus, the under-19 team, with the FIBA World Cup earlier as well, back in June. So he's been a very busy young man during this off-season. Of course, wasn't able to be here as part of that Sandringham Championship winning run in the NBL1 South Conference, but certainly got some great reps with that team during the season. And I know they're very excited about what he can provide to them, even as a next star this year in his first year. Remembering he is just 17 years
ridiculous.
of age. And you will forget that at times watching him. And he is very, very similar in the way he goes about to older brother Dyson. So if you're making that comparison at home, you're not alone. Very much a dog defensively, really good in transition in the open court, can play make, shots developing as well. So a lot to like about the future of that young man. Of course, someone that his Sandringham Sabres faced in the NBL1 South Grand Final, who was the MVP of the South Conference, is Tom Wilson, a man who makes his return to professional basketball this season, Jamie. This season.
His second year back playing basketball after his stint in the AFL with Collingwood. Yeah, Tom Wilson had a ridiculous season in the NBL1 South, was far and away the most deserved, very clearly, for the MVP. 24.5 points, 6 and a bit boards, 5.5 assists, 1.1 steals as well. And there's a number of players from that Melbourne Tigers team who have found themselves contracts in the NBL. We'll get to that in a little bit as well. But Tom Wilson, a question I have for you about Tom Wilson is, where do you see him fit into this United lineup? Because there's so many guards out there, and even not out there in Shea Ely, who's still not quite back to being on the floor yet. But where do you see Tom fit into this kind of such a guard-heavy team?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think obviously Tyson Walker and Shea Ely, once he's cleared, will play a heavy load in the backcourt. And, I think Shilly's one who can slide between the 1 and the 2 at times. I think Tom Wilson will come off the bench. Whether he's the first guard off the bench or not, I'm not sure. But he is a player, given his size at 6'4", and he's quite well built, obviously. He can play also 1 or 2, can be a bit of a combo guard, a bit of a difference maker. Could even potentially slide over and play some minutes as a 3 at times if he needed to. But I think the thing about Wilson's game that attracted Melbourne United to signing him this season is just how versatile he is. And you saw that through the numbers you just quoted from his NBL1 South season. He's not just a scorer. He's not just a distributor. He gets in there and rebounds as well. He's really strong at getting 2 feet in the paint and making things happen. Shot the ball incredibly well from the perimeter, over 41% from 3 on the season. So he's got a very versatile game that I think will mesh well with this offense. And he might get used in different ways throughout the season, Jamie.
We speak about versatility and kind of that 1 through 3 aspect. Milton Doyle, the man who just shot that free throw, we were talking before we went on the air and just saying about how, I don't know if underrated is the right word for Milton Doyle, but maybe underappreciated, because he is so, like I said, versatile, can score, can defend, and in terms of being a team leader and a glue guy, he really epitomises that.
He does, and I was talking to Dean Vickerman pre-game tonight, and he's just really excited to have Milton as part of their group. He thinks he's fitting in really well already, and as you said, very versatile player. I think some of the underappreciation is probably for the fact that Milton had a bit of a down season last year. 37% from the field, just about 33% from 3, so certainly down a little bit from where he was in previous seasons. But let's not forget that he made All-NBL first team in NBL 23, and in their championship season in NBL 24, he made All-NBL second team. So he is that level of talent.
Yep.
And I think in the system where he's going to have a lot of support and probably not have to carry as big of a load on a nightly basis as he did in Tasmania, I think that'll be really good for him. And I'm looking forward to seeing him and CG on the floor together when CG's cleared to return. Hopefully we'll see that at the Blitz next week in Canberra. But a really nice addition, I guess, in some ways picks up some of the role of Ian Clark, but you could say an upgrade over Ian Clark in terms of more of a full-time starting role on this team you would expect, and potentially expected to do more on a more consistent basis, whereas Ian Clark was asked to do different things depending on how the game was going coming off their bench as that 6-man role. So a really nice get for Melbourne United this season in Doyle.
Someone that I'm really excited is back in the NBL is Finn Delaney, joining this Melbourne team. Speaking of underrated NBL players over the last couple of seasons, I think he is one of those guys. Had a couple of years in Japan, now he's back in the NBL. Decided not to go back to the Breakers. He's come to Melbourne United. He has a bit of a Kiwi connection, of course, with Dean Vickerman and with Shea Ely, who's one of his best friends, from what he was saying on the Bounce podcast with our man Adam Ballinger. But where do you see his role in this team? Because, like I said, it's such a stacked team, and he's one of those guys that can play more of a 4, but can slide up to the 3 and then slide down to the 5 as well.
Yeah, look, he'll spend the bulk of his minutes at the 4, and he'll probably start as the 4 for the bulk of the season as well. So you think about the role that Jack White played for them last year. You think about the role that Luke Travers played the year before. Obviously, Finn Delaney is a different player to those two players, but he has similar size. He can stretch the floor from 3. He can get active defensively, and he can crash the boards pretty well. And you got a good glimpse of that on Thursday night against Cairns. In just 22 minutes, he had 15 points and 5 rebounds and 2 assists, 5 out of 7 from the field. So, in his first hit out with United, that's a really nice showing and potentially reflective of what sort of production he's going to be aiming for. I'd say probably are in around that 12 to 15 point mark is what they'd be looking to get out of him. And if he can get you 5 or 6 boards every game, that's great. He's a threat in transition. He likes to get out and run. And again, here's a player who's made an All-NBL second team back in the day, back in NBL21. He's got a 2-year deal here with United, so I think he's looking to re-establish himself as a really solid player in the NBL after a couple of years away.
And then finally, Fabian Krizlovic, another man that we got to see for the second half of the NBL1 South season with the Sandringham Sabres, coming over to Melbourne after the last few years with the Jack Jumpers. And we talk about those kind of glue guys, those connection guys, those leadership and that kind of locker room leader, on-floor coach, all the cliches that you want to throw around. He really epitomizes that.
He really does. And again, he's someone who has had a really nice off-season with a couple of stops. He first went over to Germany in the Pro A League. He played 18 games over there. Played a kind of a glue guy role like he does. 8 points, 5 boards, 2 assists and nearly a steal per game. Shot the ball incredibly well there as well. He shot 46% from 3 across his 18 games. And the 3 ball for me is one of those skills for him. It's a bit of a swing skill. He's always been a decent shooter, but he's an improved shooter.
Yep.
And he had a very down year in the NBL last year with Tasmania, but he had a solid year in the NBL1 with Sandringham. So he's someone, again, who can come in at that 4 spot. He can play some small ball 5. He can stretch the floor, but he can play make as well. He's a very versatile player, and he's kind of one of those players that you just love having on your team because he'll do whatever is needed for that team. And we saw that on Thursday night already. 7 points, 7 boards, 7 assists in his first hit out with Melbourne United. In limited minutes, he played, 21 minutes, 2 blocks as well. So
that's about right for him.
Having an impact all across the box score, but just tries to make winning plays. The other factor about bringing Fab Krizlovic over is the connection, the chemistry he has with Milton Doyle as well, obviously from their time with the Jack Jumpers the last couple of seasons and obviously winning that championship together 2 years ago back in NBL24. So some nice off-season additions for Melbourne United. Dean Bickerman very happy with how this team's coming together. They're really deep, which is something that he was looking for as he was going through free agency this season. He said with the extra number of games this season and a lot of games close together, having depth is going to be really important, and that's something that's obviously been pretty clear in their roster build this season. So, be interesting to see. Just of note as well with Melbourne United tonight, as you saw on Thursday night if you were watching, Jacob Chance took the reins as the head coach.
Yep.
Tonight will be his last game with Melbourne United, obviously announced as getting the head coaching role with the Austin Spurs, the G League affiliate of the San Antonio Spurs. Great opportunity for Jacob Chance. They brought in Jack Fleming as another assistant in his place. Jack was with the Jack Jumpers. There's also another connection with Fab and Milton. But tonight, David Barlow is going to take the reins as the head coach of Sandringham Sabres, championship-winning head coach now. But he'll take the reins tonight, and the Dean will just watch from afar, as he tends to do in the preseason as they work their way up towards the Blitz.
So tip-off about 1 minute away, and just in this last minute for the Phoenix, Owen Foxwell back in the lineup, starting in this game after the successful Asia Cup defence, undefeated, gold medal. You speak about guys that have had really strong off-seasons. Owen Foxwell has to be 1A in that situation.
He was great for the Boomers. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Shot it at 40% from 3 across the tournament. 15 points, 4 boards and 3 assists in the quarterfinal versus the Philippines.
I lied, he's not starting.
He's not starting. Well, I guess he's only been back for a couple of days. Who is starting? They've only got 4 out on the floor right now. I would imagine Nathan Sobey starting.
It is,
and he is.
So Sobey, Aaliyah, Hunter, Maldonado, and Weinberg for the Phoenix.
And we've got Walker, Doyle, Tanner Krebs, Finn Delaney, and Fab Krizlovic in the middle for Melbourne United in the blue. It'll be United going to the left of screen, the Phoenix in black going to the right of screen. This should be fun.
Yeah, the last time these two teams played in the preseason, it took 2 extra periods to sort them out. They then went 2-2 in the regular season, with only 1 point separating them total. So if the records are to say anything, we are in for a banger. Maldonado
looking for that lob to Geordie Hunter, just not quite on the same page there. That'll happen in pre-season when you've only been together for about a week and a half.
12 seconds on the baseline here for the Phoenix. The first turnover. Sobey just caught in the air. Krislovic. Pass is tipped out.
So a couple of errant passes from both teams to get us underway here. United with the ball, 14 on the shot clock.
These two teams focus their pre-season and their off-season really on defense. Krebs is blocked.
You see the length of Blyenberg there denying Tanner Krebs. 6'10" is Vrenz Blyenberg.
I think that's
playing that small forward position. He has a lot of length.
I think that's robbing him of a few centimetres as well. He's even bigger than he looks as a foul gets called on the rebound.
Fouls on Milton Doyle. First foul of the game.
Phoenix ball on the baseline. Fresh 14 for them as well. Blyenberg, lovely pass inside, but blocked from behind from Krislovic. Krebs with the deep three. That's too strong. Second look, same spot. Can't get that one to go either. So a couple of good looks here for United, but played a minute and change and still no score.
You see Sobey trying to get downhill, in that nail position and going to the basket. He draws the foul.
Yeah, Walker called for that one.
The 2 free throws for Nathan Sobey. Looking for the first points of the game still, Jamie.
Well, it's definitely pre-season, that's for sure. But both of these teams playing against Cairns during the week, and of course we know the situation with Cairns. They have less than half of their players available at the moment, but these two teams pretty much at full strength. So what are both coaches looking to get out of this one?
And again, it's a chance to get through your stuff, to integrate some of the new players, and just to get more reps together under your legs before the Blitz next week, when they're going to hopefully be more at full strength and really start to put the combinations on the floor they want to start using in the regular season.
Ketchalia won another possession for the Phoenix. Sobey getting aggressive. Blocked again. That's 2 blocks for Krislovic already. And then Hunter puts on the hard hat and gets to work.
Yeah, great job by Geordie there to stick with it. Missed the first putback, stuck with it and got it to go the second time as Maldonado creates the turnover here for the Phoenix. He's a very active defender.
Great work by Ketchalia. Basket's going to be waved away.
Interesting.
Delaney gets called for the
hold.
hold.
Might have counted, but the foul will go on Delaney. He's sideline out of bounds for the Phoenix. 16 on the shot clock. That was a great lob there from Maldonado to a Ketchalia. You see the defensive impact down the other end, though, of Hunter Maldonado. And that's one thing, talking to Simon Mitchell pre-game, that he really likes about him. He's a dog on the ball.
Yep.
And, you know, slightly different offensive game, but there's a lot of Trey Kell about Hunter Maldonado in the way that he goes about it and the versatility of his game, as Alir can't connect from long range when the ball will go back to Melbourne.
Ketchalia has been pretty heavily involved to start this game. His first season with the Phoenix, of course, spent the last year with Melbourne United. Full contract spot with the Phoenix and showing why he deserves this position. There he is again, playing some really good defense. Krislovic no good, and Hunter with a tough board.
United still unable to find any points. 2.5 minutes into this game.
Blyenberg. Lovely pass to Alir. Can't get it to go.
He is a really, really elite passer, is Vrenz Blyenberg, as Krebs cannot get it to go with the left, looking for the foul there.
Sobey, head down, draws another whistle.
And that's going to be 2 on Doyle now. So Dave Barlow with his first decision to make for the night. Does he leave Doyle out there because it's pre-season, or does he play it like a normal game and take him out? It looks like he's going to leave him out there for now.
Sobey to the line once again. 294 games in the NBL for Nathan Sobey. Second year here with the Phoenix. And based on what Angus Glover said to us the other night on the broadcast, feeling a lot more comfortable this year and kind of figuring out what his role is. There's Delaney with ball handling duties. Lovely pass. Krislovic extra to Delaney outside. Gets the first points of the game for United.
Beautiful ball movement there by United. Krislovic probably could have shot it, but passed it up for a wide open Finn Delaney, and United finally on the board.
Krislovic called for the foul.
Maldonado furiously putting heat on the rim down the other end. And here's that replay of that Krislovic kick out to Finn Delaney. Nothing but the bottom of the net there for the Kiwi.
And that's where you talk about the difference between Jack White and Finn Delaney. Jack White, three-point shot has improved, but was still a little bit inconsistent last year. Delaney is all but a knockdown shooter. Nick Tartar checking in for United as well, as Krislovic takes a seat, and Finn Delaney's going to have to sit down with the blood rule.
I want to bring Kyle Bowen in for his first action tonight. Looking at Kyle Bowen, he is in tremendous shape. He has lost a lot of weight, and Dean Vickerman was very excited about what that might mean for his game this season as a true four-man in this roster.
Weinberg no good off the offensive rebound to catch Aaliyah. What a start he's had to this game. Gets rewarded with the tough 2 points.
Nice, strong, aggressive take from Aaliyah.
Might have got away with a walk. Josh King thinks so. Well, stays with United. Doyle trying to figure out this tough D. Good ball movement by United. Rewarded with the triple from Tyson Walker.
And Walker can certainly score.
Oh, Sobey, speaking of scorers. Sobey has been treating this game like it is a playoff game. You see Tyson Walker. It's very obvious that Melbourne, their offense is, when it clicks, is looking really good. They're giving up good looks for extra ones, and willing to give it up. The three ball's going. It's the only 2 baskets that they've got. 2 of 6 to start this game from beyond the arc.
Two of 4, no?
2 of 4. You are correct.
Sometimes I get it right. Malik Machar in for his first action for United, as is DJ Mitchell, and now Owen Foxwell returning. It's a big roar from the crowd. Foxy is a fan favourite with this Heartland crowd, and obviously coming back off that Boomers gold medal at the FIBA Asia Cup.
Walker just ran out of real estate just to give it up. Blyenberg. Oh, he blocked off the backboard by Machar. Here is Machar, head full of steam. He's got a pair of free throws coming.
Great activity from Machar right away. And again, another player you and I got a close look at all off-season with the Sandringham Sabres. And he was a big part of their championship run. Had a huge game in the final. Had 28 points on 5 of 10 threes in the South Grand Final. Had a very strong season overall, averaging just under 21 points and 5 boards. Shot 41% from 3 across the NBL1 South season, did Malik Machar. And great to see him as a fully contracted player with this club finally after a couple of years as a training player and a DP back in the day.
Here he is, guarding Maldonado. Mitchell, didn't he light it up on Tuesday night? Gets contained by Bowen. puts up a tough shot and gets it to go.
And good patience there. Bowen was all over him, and he just waited him out, and created some separation there with that little step back.
Doyle pulls up by himself, no good. Tata can't pull down the O-board. Foxwell turns on the Jets. Can't get the runner to go. Walker well contained by Foxwell. Shot clock down to 10. Doyle finds a whole lot of space. Tata blocked by Blindberg. And the Phoenix are off once again. Maldonado all the time in the world. No good, but Hunter skying up above the rest and making the most of that size.
Geordie Hunter just looked around and saw who was on him. He's like, oh, I'm taking this to the basket. Great work on the O-boards from Geordie. He's got 5 boards already, does Geordie Hunter. And I dare say at least 3 of them are on the offensive end.
Malik Lewis checking in. As is Gorjok Gak for the Phoenix. Tom Wilson and Dash Daniels for the Sabres. There we go. That's the first of many for United.
For United.
Here's Wilson inside. Bowen with a pair of free throws. Kyle Bowen spent the off-season in the New Zealand League, the Canterbury Rams. Averaged 10.5 points, over 8 rebounds, 3.5 offensive rebounds a game, along with a block and 2.5 steals. So he was speaking of guys that were putting in work in the off-season.
He had a triple-double in one game back in June. 16 points, 22 boards and 10 assists. That is putting in work.
Gets those free throws to go. 9 plays 12, 4.5 minutes left in quarter number 1. It's the preseason throwdown. Melbourne United and South East Melbourne Phoenix. It's Blindberg.
That's a goaltend by Nick Tata. So grass take there from Vrenz Blindberg.
Tata's going to head to the bench. Krislovic back in. Of course, Nick Tata, the nominated injury replacement player for Melbourne United.
So the Phoenix lead by 5 here. Just over 4 minutes left in this first period. It hasn't been the prettiest of contests so far, but there's certainly been some exciting action.
Wilson and Foxwell getting tangled up. Foul will be called on Foxwell.
It's going to be bonus free throws. Not bonus, just 2 shots. Excuse me. It's the third team foul. Foxy just asking the question from official Ken Widgeon if there was any hooking there by Wilson.
First free throw is good for Tom Wilson. Does have 12 NBL games to his name. Back in the 2018-19 season with the Sydney Kings, alongside his off-season coach in Andrew Gaze. And Melbourne Tigers connection. Lewis thought about the 3, decides against it. Just 10 seconds here for South East. Blindberg has to make something happen. Lovely court vision. Lewis is 3 halfway down.
Well, they shot the ball really well from deep on Tuesday night, did the Phoenix, but they're struggling now 0 for 4 tonight from that range. Had some good looks, though.
Wilson in the corner. No good on the 3. Next star v next star. Lewis versus Daniels. Gak, he's got that in his arsenal, but not that time. And United looking to run a set, down by 4 points.
Next star on next star. Lewis cuts off Daniels.
Machar, no good from the elbow.
Speaking of next stars, we've got a special guest joining us at the start of the second quarter. Liam Santamaria, the GM of Next Stars recruitment for the NBL, will be along to have a quick chat with us. Not only about Dash Daniels and Malik Lewis, but about the other Next Stars who will take part in NBL26. So looking forward to having a chat with Liam shortly. So make sure you stick with us.
DJ Mitchell cleans up, and then a sloppy pass from Bowen. Lewis pulls up in transition. That'll make Santa Maria happy.
And of course, that 3-ball for Malik Lewis is something he's been working on extensively in the off-season, and we saw some good signs of that on Tuesday night as he knocked down 3 out of 4 from long range as Mitchell denies Wilson but gets called for a body foul here. A little push and there'll be 2 shots for Tom Wilson. Oh. What do you think? It's clean up top, that's for sure.
It's not the wrong call. Bit of a party foul, I'll say. Tom Wilson goes to the line.
It's the second foul on DJ Mitchell.
He's going to stay in the game. As Tom Coppins and Campbell Blogg have checked in for Melbourne United. Campbell Blogg, his game the other night was his first time playing organised basketball since December of last year. Missed the back end of the NBL25 season after dislocating his shoulder and needing some surgery, and then sat out the entire NBL1 season as well. Good to see him back on the floor alongside his best mate and Tom Coppins. Sobey. What a start to this game Nathan Sobey has had. He is looking to punish this Melbourne defence.
That foul's on Walker. That's his second personal. And we'll send Sobey back to the free throw line.
Daniel Foster's checked in. As is Akechalia.
Sobey going to be shooting free throw attempts number 7 and 8 already, and we're still in the first quarter.
It's a bit ridiculous. But that's how this South East Melbourne team want to play. They want to push the pace, rip the ball out of the bottom of the net, or ideally off of a rebound, and just push and punish the oppositions for either not being fast enough or for not being ready.
6 out of 8 at the line for Sobes tonight. All 6 of his points coming from the charity stripe. 10-point lead now, yeah.
Yeah. Finn Delaney bringing the ball up. Walker staying in the game with those fouls. Just rattles out.
Foster just loses his balance there and can't quite stay in bounds, and the ball will go back to United.
That sideline raised.
United shooting just 15% from the field in this first quarter. They are 2 of 13 from the field. They are 2 out of 5 from 3. Their only 2 field goals have come from long range. 0 for 8 from 2-point range so far.
Blogg gets aggressive. Stripped by Lewis. Saw a bit of that last year. Known more as a defender, but boy, has he expanded his offensive arsenal. Krizlovic picks that pass off, though. Delaney. Swatted from behind by Malik Lewis.
Knocked out of bounds by United. I think it was Blogg that last touched it, so the ball will stay with the Phoenix. It's a great defensive activity from Malik Lewis on a couple possessions in a row. And again, that's part of the game we're very familiar with, part of his game, but certainly improved. You can see he's a bit more chiseled this year than he was last year. He's in great shape. And we'll chat more about that with Liam Santa Maria when he joins us
in
the second quarter.
Putting in work once again.
Lewis just having a really nice impact on this game so far.
He's going to head to the free throw line for some bonus free throws. Blogg called for that foul. And you and I sat behind him at the NBL1 South Grand Final. He is a large human at this point. Those shoulders have... he was never small to begin with, but those shoulders have expanded, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
That's the first free throw to go. Phoenix doubling Melbourne's score right now, 22-11. And he goes 2 for 2. Walker turning on the Jets. Delaney draws that foul and might have had a word or two to say to referee Kenny Widgeon. Seems to be pretty frustrated. So both teams in the bonus. So Finn Delaney goes to the line. He was with Shizuoka in Japan, was Finn Delaney. Absolute cult hero in Japan. If you see some comments in Japanese on some of Melbourne United's posts during this season, then you will absolutely know why.
Well, there's already been a very big Japanese following from United for a long time. Probably started with Nudai Baba came here and played. And then he came for a second season a couple of years later.
Sobi pulls up from deep, no good.
And then, of course, we know Matthew Dellavedova is a fan favourite of many Japanese basketball fans.
6-second difference between shot and game clock. Pass is deflected. Akecha, what a quarter he's had. All the way to the ring, draws the whistle.
It's going to be Tom Coppin scored for that one. It's a great attack again by Alir. He's been really aggressive in this first quarter, getting a nice chance to play a big chunk of minutes in the preseason and certainly making the most of it.
He's carrying on that momentum of being in the all-first team in the NBL 1 South.
Yeah, another great season there for the Mount Gambier Pioneers.
Of course, has spent the last couple of years with Melbourne United, knows this team well, knows the schemes. Clearly he remembers what the offense looks like because he's got a couple of steals and deflections in this first quarter alone.
And he was super active on Tuesday as well. 16 points, 9 rebounds, 3 of them on the offensive end. He had a block as well. 6 of 8 from the field overall in his 23 minutes of action. So Alir's certainly someone who is looking to earn minutes in the rotation this season for Josh King. And again, this is going to change when John Brown arrives. The latest update is he's arriving on Monday now into Melbourne. So he'll have a couple of days to practice before the Blitz. Whether he takes part in the first Blitz game remains to be seen. But he's going to obviously eat up a lot of minutes at the 4 and the 5 spots. But Alir certainly making a case to Josh King that he deserves some rotation minutes.
Coppin's feet set, no good to beat the buzzer. The Phoenix with a 12-point lead, 25-13. And just on Akecha as well, this has to absolutely be turning Josh King's head because he's doing the two main things that Josh King really emphasises. He's playing some good defense and then he's pushing the ball in transition. So knowing that you can have one of these guys who, if we're being honest, was most likely going to be toward the end of the bench, but knowing that he's going to, do the exact things that you need would be so exciting and perfect for Josh King.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why Josh King and Simon Mitchell went out and got him, because that's exactly what he's craving is that length. At every position, there's a reason why he's brought in Alir and Blyenberg and Maldonado has a big wingspan and guys like that. So it's exactly the way that he wants to play, and Alir is just really, as you said, putting on a good display of that right now in this opportunity in the preseason. So 25-13 at quarter time to the South East Melbourne Phoenix. It has not been pretty offensively, to say the least, for either team. The Phoenix shooting at just 33%. They're just 1 out of 9 from three-point range. And United, 13% overall. They are yet to make a 2-point field goal. But, again, we're in preseason. You don't worry too much about that kind of stuff. You want to see how guys mesh together. You want to see how they're running their sets, what works, what combinations work well together. And... and build. It's early days, and that's why they play these games. So, again, 3 more quarters to go, and United will certainly be looking to improve their offensive output as we kick along.
Yeah, and I think the main thing for Dave Barlow, Dean Vickerman, is that they're good looks, if nothing else.
Absolutely. We're now going to be joined by a special guest, Liam Santamaria, the GM of the NBL Next Stars program. Liam, welcome. Thanks for making some time to come and have a chat with us.
Thanks for having me. Good to be with you, fellas. Great night of NBL preseason hoops in the suburbs.
Indeed, indeed. Now, obviously, your role is very much catered around the younger cohort coming through, trying to improve in this league, trying to realise their dreams. Two guys out here tonight going head-to-head, and we saw them actually guarding each other on one or two possessions there in that first quarter. Let's start with Malik Lewis, because he was here last year. There was some buzz around him potentially being a second-round pick in the draft this year. He went over, he did some workouts, he decided to pull his name out of the draft and wanted to refocus and continue to improve his game, and now he's back for a second year. So talk me through kind of that process, and I guess what are you expecting to see from year two from Malik Lewis?
Yeah, well, firstly, excited to have him back. You know, he's a great young man who I think has a huge future in the game, and it's always an interesting process for these guys in the pre-draft process as they assess the feedback they're getting from NBA teams. What am I going to be? Can I get a guaranteed contract? Am I going to go undrafted? So I think it was a mature decision by him and his camp. They love their situation at South East Melbourne. They love the coaching staff, the organisation, and, you know, he's sort of set himself to have, you know, a big second year, take a bit of a leap, a little bit like what we saw from Alex Tui last season in year two. And, you know, I think we're seeing some exciting signs from him in their first couple of preseason hit-outs.
Absolutely. I mean, he shot the ball incredibly well on Tuesday night here against Cairns, and he's already making plays tonight on both ends of the floor. He also looks like he's stronger. He's kind of a bit more chiseled than he was last year, in better shape, and I guess a full year of development in the Phoenix program, a full off-season to work on his body, having got the feedback that he got as well, puts him in really good stead for this season.
Yeah, and I think there's even some room to grow and improve still in that space, to be honest. You know, these young guys, they're still learning what it means to be a pro on and off the court on a day-to-day basis, and Malik's really good in that way, but, you know, at 20, you still don't have that kind of diet that a Nathan Sobey has, for example. So, you know, I think Malik has some room to grow in that space, and you know, he's got a whole bunch of upside at both ends of the floor that I think is going to serve the Phoenix well over the course of the season.
And the poor shooting continues for both teams here in this second quarter. The ball will stay with the Phoenix 8-24. We're here with Liam Santamaria, the GM of the NBL Next Stars program. Liam, let's talk a little bit about the young man on the other end of the bench there, Dash Daniels. Jamie and I got a first-hand look at him in a number of games with the Sandringham Sabres in the off-season in the NBL 1. But he's had a busy off-season, under-19 Emus team at the FIBA World Cup, and then obviously part of that gold medal winning team with the Boomers at the FIBA Asia Cup. How important are those international experiences just in terms of continuing to develop his game at just 17 years of age?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when you use the word experiences. You know, that's what they all are for Dash right now. You know, as you say, 17 as Geordie Hunter shows a little bit of his range. You know, the Asia Cup, he wasn't playing enormous minutes, and, you know, he's played, but he's around some guys like Jack McVeigh and Dave O'Hickey that, you know, you can really learn a lot from. Jack White, those kind of guys. And in the NBA, like, he's played every level, as Maldonado can't hit from long range. You know,
I love that the commentator in you comes out right away.
Hunter back to back. Oh,
my. Very nice. Very nice.
Wow, timeout, Melbourne United. They need to chat about it.
Indeed.
Yeah, he's played every level over the past little while, hasn't he? He's been at the NBA Global Academy, the Centre of Excellence, Under-19 World Cup, NBL 1, Asia Cup, now NBL. That's a lot for a 17-year-old, making an adjustment to all kinds of different styles and levels. And
he never seems perturbed by what environment he's in. He seems to fit in pretty seamlessly. He's pretty chilled and relaxed and pretty level-headed for again, just 17 years of age.
Yeah.
Quite remarkable.
And I think the fact that he came into the program early and he spent the back end of last season in that Melbourne United environment, obviously a great foundation with Marty Clark and Robbie McKinlay and all that environment in Canberra. But then the comfort that he has in this Melbourne United setup from the back end of last season I think holds him in really good stead, and why you see him looking pretty comfortable out there on the floor.
Now, obviously, at 17 years of age, he's going to be in the program for at least 2 years. What do you think a successful first year looks like for Dash? I know that's a hard question to answer sometimes.
Yeah.
But, we don't know exactly what sort of role he's going to play in this very deep United roster, how many minutes, and it might fluctuate here and there. But just from his own personal development, what do you think are some of the markers maybe he's looking to hit in year one?
Well, firstly, he's a different 17-year-old to what Karim Lopez was, because Dash is December 18, 2007 birthday, which means technically he's going to be eligible for the 2026 draft. He could easily be one and done in the NBL. He's a current projected lottery pick for that draft.
Yep.
So the beautiful thing for Dash is, look, he can run his own race.
Yep.
If it's time to go, then, ta-ta, off you go, first-round pick, and you can start your NBA career. But if not, if it's a process of continuing to develop over the course of a year two, then the 2027 draft will be there for him. So there's a chance he could be the youngest guy in the 2026 draft.
Yep.
And so, there's a lot of water to go under the bridge to see how that all plays out.
The comparisons to Dyson are natural. People make them all the time, and there are a lot of similarities about their game. But from what you've seen to date, and you've obviously watched him play at all these different levels, we just spoke about a few minutes ago, what is different about Dash to Dyson, and where do you think he can differentiate himself if he needs to? Maybe he doesn't need to, but where do you see some differences there?
Yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time evaluating Dyson at the same age.
Sure.
Which is, I think, the key here is the Phoenix score at the rim. It's easy. I think it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing Dash to the current day Dyson.
Yeah.
NBA most improved player and second in defensive player of the year. And that's unfair on a 17-year-old kid.
Yep.
So they're very similar in many ways. They're obviously both world-class defenders in their own right. Dash for his age. Dash, I think his offensive game continues to grow and expand. He makes good decisions. He's got a nice float game. The three-point game you guys saw closely for Sandringham is very much on the improve.
Yep.
So, I'm loath to compare other than to say, if I'm an NBA team, I look at him, I look at where Dyson is now, and I think, man, I probably want to jump on that train.
Absolutely. Second personal on Finn Delaney there as Nathan Sobey goes back to the free throw line.
9 and 10.
Again, this will be his 9th and 10th attempts already tonight.
Oh, he's a merchant.
Indeed. And Melbourne United still searching for their first two-point field goal of this game. They are 0 for 12 from two-point range.
What? Is that?
0 for 12.
Serious?
Oh,
It's
I'm
preseason.
serious.
Boy, is it preseason.
Jeez.
Let's have a chat about the other man, young man you just mentioned, Karim Lopez, the New Zealand Breakers. I spoke to Petteri Koponen about a month ago in the off-season, just before he was looking to come back to New Zealand from Finland. He was very excited about the work that Karim had been putting in the off-season between year one and year two. And, similar in some ways to Malik Lewis, but different in terms of the expectations, because Karim wasn't looking to be drafted, wasn't eligible for that draft. There was always a 2-year process for him. And he's got a really good opportunity now to have a solid year. He's going to play a big role for Petteri over at the Breakers. And really put himself in good stead to be a potentially high lottery pick.
It's going to be exciting to watch. He was a revelation last season, wasn't he? As a 17-year-old, as you say, not draft eligible, too young, and yet comes out and he's having the youngest ever double-double in NBL history. He's having multiple, he had a 20 and 10 game. The key for Karim this year is to have that kind of impact on a consistent basis. And that's it's hard for young players, as DJ Mitchell answers from three. It's hard for young players to have that kind of consistency, and he's still winding himself up. He tweaked his back in the final of the Euro camp, so he won't be active at the Blitz, but they're hoping he'll be ready for opening night for the Breakers. But big season ahead for sure.
Wilson can't connect there, and Lewis, the next star, pulls down another board. And of course, the fourth member of the Next Stars program this season over in the Perth Wildcats, where they've become a staple at having Next Stars, and I'm hoping I'm going to pronounce this correctly. And
That
you
was
will
going to be
correct me
my
if I
first
don't.
question.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Noah Kwaku Erg.
Nice.
I did some research.
Just say it a little faster.
Noah Kwaku Erg.
Love it.
Is that right?
Yep.
All right, good. I'll take it. So tell us about this young man, because I'm sure most of our viewers tonight don't really know too much about him just yet.
So I've been scouting Noah for a few years now, because obviously keep a close eye on all the top young prospects around the world. But it's such a factory of talent in France right now. Been scouting the guys at that INSEP academy with Nolan Traore and others coming through that system for a couple of years, and Noah's been in that mix. Watched him play against Dash Daniels and those other Aussies at the Under-17 World Cup in Turkey last year. And I think he has a huge future ahead and is slightly under the radar in the NBA draft space right now.
Okay.
And that's fine. That's cool. It's a good place for him to be as he ramps himself up. But he's got a lot of what NBA teams are really interested in the draft space. He's long, athletic, he's versatile. He has the ability to rip it off the defensive board, push it in transition, and make plays. A little bit kind of picture a young Xavier Cooks in that regard, but also just like super bouncy. So moves well without the ball. If he catches it around the rim, it's quick up and in. And the feedback from the Wildcats thus far, settling in really well. Really immersing himself within the team, and engaging well with the group. Still really young, and they've got an experienced front line in Joe Lawala-Chul and Christian Doolittle and these guys. So he's going to need to work his way into the season.
Yep.
But I think the Wildcats fans are going to enjoy watching him play at ROC Arena this year.
What sort of role are you expecting him to play? Obviously, 2 years ago, they had Alex Sarr, and he was always going to play a big role and went on to be the second pick in the draft. Last year, Ethan Almansa, slightly less of a role than Sarr played, but still had his moments through the season. Where do you expect to see Noah this season in John Riley's rotation?
Maybe something between what you saw from those two guys. Okay. He's that year younger than what Ethan was. So this will be his first year of draft eligibility. So picture the same sort of age as what Alex was.
Yep.
He's like Kareem and Dash. He's 2007 born. He's going to be a high-energy guy off the bench for Perth in that front line.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
And we talk about the end goal being the draft, and there were 3 Aussies drafted last year, 2 out of the Next Star program. Rocco Zakarski, of course, and Alex Tui. How much does that mean to you, and kind of how exciting is it for the program overall when you can get 2 guys in the same year, along with Locke Yelbrick, who came from the NBL, 2 guys from the same year into the NBA next season?
Oh, it was cool for Australian basketball, wasn't it? And and you see guys like Taron Armstrong getting their opportunities as well. So great for the program, but I think even better for Australian basketball that those guys coming through the system, getting drafted. You see Tyrese Proctor took a different route, but he got picked up as well. 6 Next Stars drafted over the past 2 drafts. So it's the NBA teams see the potential of these guys. They want them in their programs, and they're snapping them up.
Just as you were speaking then, Fab Krizlovic made a 2-point basket the first of the night for Melbourne United. Just thought I'd point that out. Talk to me about the situations that Rocco and Tui find themselves in. Tui was someone that was always thought would get drafted and would stay over there and, get an opportunity to play this season. Rocco, for mine, and maybe my information was wrong, but wasn't always a certainty that he would necessarily actually stick straight away. Maybe he would be stashed for a year, but it looks like he's going to be in that Minnesota program as Krizlovic goes to work yet again and has an N1 opportunity.
Yep.
Talk to me about the situations for both of those young men this season.
Well, in Rocco's case, his camp, his representation, the family, they were very keen to find a landing spot in that second round on a team that had a plan in place. And so it's a 2-year, 2-way contract. You got Rudy Gobert to learn from.
Yep.
You got Johan Berenger, another young elite rim-protecting big in place. So, they're invested. They know that Rocco's a project. Big guys take a while to really come into their own. So they're willing to go on that journey with Rocco over these next couple of years, which is great. So exciting for him in that space. Tui's a really interesting one because he actually hasn't signed his contract yet. the Warriors, as you would know, that they've got Jonathan Kuminga situation they're working through. They're still deciding exactly what the last elements of their roster makeup are going to be. So does that mean Alex can secure a fully guaranteed contract? Is it going to be a two-way? A little bit still up in the air. Likely a two-way to get started, but not yet locked in place, and a little bit of a wait and see.
Well, it's certainly a very exciting time for Australian basketball. Those that are over in the NBA, those that are trying to make their way, guys like Dash Daniels, and then obviously the crop of international next stars that you have on board this season in Lewis, Lopez, and Kwaku Erg. Should make for a very exciting season. Liam, just before we let you go, are we going to see you in commentary this season again on the NBL broadcast?
I think so. That's the plan. The plan's all putting in place. At the moment, I'm going to jump on the mic for a couple of games at the Blitz next week, which I'm looking forward to.
Great.
And dust the cobwebs off. You guys are sort of in postseason form right now, which is nice. As Bowen scores through the contact. So looking forward to getting up to Canberra, seeing all these teams as they continue their preparations for the season, and enjoying the rest of the preseason.
Awesome. Good to see you, my man. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks, Hershey.
Enjoy the ride.
Catch you guys.
Pleasure.
Thank you. That was Liam Santa Maria, the GM of the NBL Next Stars program. He's been as part of that program since 2022. This is the third season that he's built out the Next Stars himself, and obviously going from strength to strength, had some great results there the last few years with a number of players drafted, as we spoke about. And we'll return our focus back to this game as Walker knocks down a three. United's making a little bit of a run here. They've cut the margin back to just 10 points with a little over 2 minutes to go in this second period. And again, it's not been the prettiest offensive game, but they're starting to find a little bit of rhythm, is United here. They've now made 3 two-point field goals if you're counting at home, but certainly getting back into this game slowly but surely, as the Phoenix were out to quite a large lead there at one point, Jamie.
Well, you could tell that Tyson Walker knew that the two-point game wasn't working. He just backpedaled to get to the three because he knew. And I think the most frustrating thing for the players, but kind of the calming factor from the coaching side, would really be that they're getting good looks. They're just not going in for the most part. And that's, like you mentioned about Liam Santa Maria, shaking off the dust or shaking off the cobwebs and kind of remembering how to do the thing that you're a professional at. That's why we play preseason basketball. So now these shots are starting to fall, and the margin has gone from at one point looking like it was really going to get out of control to back to just a couple of possessions.
Yeah, Fab Krizlovic had a big role in this run. He's got 10 points now to lead United. Carl Bowen's put in some nice work. Tyson Walker as well with that three ball there. So, again, some good signs. If you're a coach, if you're getting good looks, especially in preseason, you live with the results of the shots. You're not expecting people to be in peak shooting form at this time of season. You just want them to be running the right plays, getting to the right spots and finding good looks. And I think that's what United, as you said, has done for some of the night at least, and certainly much more in this second quarter, as you see the defensive intensity from Dash Daniels there. But Sobey puts on the Jets and gets himself back to the free throw line yet again. And that foul is going to go on Daniels. That is his second personal.
Sobey definitely not in preseason form, that's for sure. He's
peak, but I mean, he played all off-season over in Puerto Rico. In fact, he suited up in, I have it here, 30 games. So he played 34 games in his NBL season, and then he went and played 30 more games in Puerto Rico for Santeros de Aguada. 16 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 1.6 steals for Sobey in that season. Shot just around about 45% from the field and 38% from three. So that is certainly some fine performances, as we have a lane violation there, and that one will get waved away. I think they catch a Lear. Was that a Lear that went in a bit early?
It was, but I didn't think that was the rule. But it's preseason for the officials as well. a good chunk of Aussies went over to play in that Puerto Rican league as well. And I think more than anything, just being able to play that many games, how important, how difficult how necessary is that for a bunch of these guys?
I mean, look, you look at the players that went over there, Bryce Cotton, Chris Golding, Geordie Hunter actually did but got injured.
Milton Doyle.
A number of them. And even Josh King went over and coached a bunch of games there as well as a replacement coach at one point. And obviously Sobey, who we just spoke about, as you see the beautiful passing ability from Blyenberg, and Geordie Hunter scoring again, 12 points now for Hunter. Look, for guys like that, it's a fun environment to be in there. It's pretty laid back in Puerto Rico. They make some pretty good money, and it's a good standard basketball. There's a lot of ex-NBA players and pros there as Delaney knocks down the straightaway three from on top, and United keeps coming, trimming this thing back to 8. There's a chance to get some good reps and just have a nice life experience as well in a beautiful environment there in Puerto Rico.
Well, there's worse places in the world
absolutely.
To be, that's for sure.
I've been there before,
during the summer,
and it's a beautiful part of the world. As Sobey knocks down the 3-ball in reply. So things starting to get cranking here. Both teams picking up their offensive output a little bit in this second quarter. And those percentages starting to rise slowly but surely.
Sobey's up to 12 points. And offensive foul called on Finn Delaney.
Delaney doesn't like that one. Dave Barlow not quite sure about it either. And Delaney picks up his 4th in the second quarter.
He heads straight down to the bench.
Doesn't like it. He thought that call was on Maldonado. Here's a replay at it. Let's have a look.
Oh, gee whiz.
Just leaning ever so slightly. I think that's not quite how I might have called that one. But
it's technically correct.
Yeah.
Which is the best kind of correct.
Okay.
So 11 seconds between shot and game clock.
You're the ex-official, not me, so I'll take your word.
Hunter caught behind the back. Daniels leads a 3-on-2. Campbell Blogg draws the whistle.
He'll get 2
He's
shots.
got a pair of free throws coming his way. They're going to have a talk. Are the officials, if this was a goaltend? No, that was very clean.
Really nicely pinned by Aliir.
So Campbell Blogg to the line.
Again, I love the assertiveness from Dash Daniels. Doesn't take a back seat in anything. You saw him bounce off Nathan Sobey before, push him away at one point, pushing really aggressively in transition that time to find Blogg.
Well, with this backcourt combination of Walker and Daniels, this is an interesting one that I don't know how much we might see that much during the regular season. 2 really defensive-minded guards. So then the question comes, as the timeout called by the Phoenix, 18 seconds left, Josh King going to draw up a last play. I doubt we're going to see Daniels and Walker in the backcourt together, because where does the offense come from?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, you're going to have Golding or Doyle most likely out there on the floor at most times. But again, Vickerman likes to shake up his lineups and try different things, and he's also very good about, just playing guys that are getting it done on a particular night, not so much fixed to his rotations and set minutes. If guys are not getting it done, or they're not playing or putting in the effort, or they make mistakes, he'll drag them pretty quickly and put someone in. We saw that in the finals last year with Tom Coppins getting some unexpected minutes.
He played in 3 games in that 5-game series and played a decent amount of court time, especially for a DP. We hear the talk a lot about positionless basketball. That's how the Phoenix are really going to play this season, and we expect Melbourne is going to be in a similar situation, at least with this guard heavy, I guess, if you can put them in, if we're going to put positions on them, kind of guard heavy, and Chris Golding kind of being that 2-through-3, and a player like a Tom Wilson who can play a 2-through-3, Milton Doyle who can play 1-through-3. Where do you see this starting lineup for Melbourne? We'll get to that in a second as we're down to the final 8 seconds. And an offensive foul called. That'll be on Jordan Hunter. And the ball goes right back to Melbourne.
Well, she's nothing if not consistent, Bianca Vernon, picking up those moving screens. And best laid plans from Josh King, drawing up a play goes awry there without even getting a shot off.
It was a use it or lose it. This is Walker. Gets all the way into the paint, blocked by Hunter.
3.1 on the clock here for United. One last chance to trim this margin. And Dave Barlow will now take a timeout and
use it or lose a timeout.
Draw up a baseline out of bounds, and why not? It's pre-season. They've got to work on these things. They've got to be able to execute their plays. So I don't mind that at all. Let's see what he can draw up. So back to where do I see United's starting lineup this season? It's an interesting one. I mean, look, I think Walker is going to start most likely. Well, actually, it's interesting. You know what? I would have said Shea Ili, but given what he's been through in the off-season, I think we'll see Ili probably start the season coming off the bench, and they'll start Doyle and Golding at the 2 and the 3.
Yep.
Finn Delaney will be at the 4.
And then it's an interesting one at the 5 because Jesse Edwards coming in.
Yeah, I mean, they brought in Edwards to be their starting 5 man, so I think that's how they'll go. I think, Fab Krizlovic might start a handful of games here and there at the 5. Kyle Bowen will play a little bit of a role there, but I think he'll spend the bulk of his minutes at the 4 this season. So, yeah, I think that would be my guess. It'll be Edwards, Delaney, Golding, Doyle, and Walker to start. But you'll see Shea Ili start some games at some point down the track of the season. As I said, you'll probably see Fab Krizlovic start a couple games here and there as well. And then Tanner Krebs is another guy who could potentially fill a role if there's injuries and stuff and elevate himself to a starting role, as we saw last season at times.
So 3.1 seconds here for United. Walker's got to get it in, just beats the buzzer. They go to Doyle behind the back, floats away, it's no good. And as we head into halftime, it's a 9-point lead to the South East Melbourne Phoenix, 49-40. Melbourne fought back in that second quarter, but the shooting has really emphasised that it's pre-season.
They put up 27 points in that second quarter, but they still gave up 24 to the Phoenix, so they trimmed the margin ever so slightly. But yes, I mean...
Well, how many points did they put up in the first quarter in scans?
Exactly, 41. And just 13 tonight. So, yes, a different opponent tonight, a much more stacked roster from the Phoenix than what Cairns had available this week. United's percentage has soared up to 26% from the field after shooting just 13% in the first quarter. So they've doubled their percentage, which is positive. But the more important thing is they're executing a lot better. They're getting cleaner looks. They're getting some stuff on the interior now as well. And they've made this a ball game. A 9-point ball game is well within reach in terms of this second half. And I'm not saying we're going to get a repeat of what happened last year, but I think this is going to be quite a competitive game the longer it plays out tonight. And, if we can get a tight one down the track, down the stretch of this one, then that'll be exciting for everyone to watch here. And it's a great crowd here at SBC tonight.
Absolutely. It's damn near sold out, just as we expected for your Saturday night hoops here in the preseason. The last game of the preseason for these teams in Melbourne, at least. Heading off, and they've got the Blitz next weekend up in Canberra. And then before regular season tips off on the 18th of September as Melbourne United head down to Tasmania to take on the Jack Jumpers and then come back home and host New Zealand at John Cain Arena.
United taking on the Perth Wildcats next Wednesday in their first game of the Blitz, and they'll also face the Brisbane Bullets. The South East Melbourne Phoenix will play the New Zealand Breakers and the Sydney Kings, so a chance for both teams to face some different opponents as well. And again, continue to build out some cohesion, get through some sets, test out some rotations, get some guys back into some rhythm coming back from some injuries, integrate Jesse Edwards in the United's case and John Brown in the Phoenix's case, guys who haven't been here yet this pre-season. And as you said, build up to the start of the regular season in just under a month's time from now.
Yeah, 34 days, I believe the post was today.
I think it's less than that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It feels like
it's 24 days.
It is coming around the corner very, very quickly. We're going to take a quick break here, but the second half not too far away. It's a 9-point lead to the South East Melbourne Phoenix, 49 plays 40.
Fondness and Steady, Anthony is going to take home a voucher for $250 to take the family out for some pizza. Can we get a round of applause for all of our contestants? Phil Skinny is lost by Steady.
Well, welcome back to the State Basketball Centre. We're about 2 minutes out from the start of the second half. It's the South East Melbourne Phoenix leading Melbourne United 49-40 in what can only be described as an underwhelming offensive display from a shooting percentages perspective, but still a fairly high-scoring affair, and by and large, because the number of free throws that have been shot by both teams, the Phoenix 16 out of 22 from the free throw line, and the United's made 17 of their own out of 20 attempts, so 42 free throw attempts between both teams. The foul count has certainly kept the scoring flowing, but it hasn't necessarily been the prettiest game to watch. Just checking out some of the stats in the first half. The Phoenix leading the rebound count 31-21. They've got 11 offensive boards to 5. Really helped them in terms of getting some second chance attempts, and they lead second chance points, 13-5. Points in the paint as well, and as you can imagine with Melbourne United's 2-point shooting struggles in the first half, they trail the Phoenix 18-8 in terms of points in the paint. Important to note as well, the Phoenix led by as many as 22 points at one stage in that second period, and United had made a really nice run to cut this thing back to single digits there before half-time, and I think it's really going to be a much more competitive contest in the second half. Nathan Sobey lived at the free throw line in the first half, 9 of 12, 9 of his 12 points coming from the charity stripe. Also want to point out the impact of Geordie Hunter on the Phoenix side. 12 points, 7 boards, and 2 block shots. He blocked 3 shots here on Tuesday night against Cairns, 2 more tonight. Had a nice impact on the offensive glass. And also the new import, Brens Blindberg. I've touted his passing ability, and he's put that on display tonight. 5 assists in the first half as well for the Belgium native. And he's really starting to integrate himself into this Phoenix roster. Whereas for United, 10 points each to Fab Krizlovic and Finn Delaney. Unfortunately, Finn Delaney with 4 fouls will start this second half on the bench. And 4 assists to Tanner Krebs off the bench. 3 assists to Dash Daniels, the young man, having a nice impact in his 7 minutes of action so far as we get underway here in the second half.
Hunter for 3. There's another assist for Blindberg.
Geordie Hunter with his 3rd triple of the night now, 3 out of 4. And if he continues to stretch the floor like that during the season, that's going to be really important for their offense, especially when John Brown gets into town.
Krebs recovers for himself. Responding in kind with a 3 is Tyson Walker.
Walker also with his 3rd triple of the night now. So basket for basket to start this second half.
And you mentioned Fab Krizlovic, he's 10 points, all 10 in that second quarter. Whereas for Finn Delaney, he's got 10, all 10 in the first quarter. As Blindberg draws a whistle, that'll be on Krizlovic.
He was a little lucky there, Blindberg. Kind of got caught in the air then, and Krizlovic, unfortunately, just not in the best place to avoid fouling him, and Vrens will earn a trip to the charity stripe.
You mentioned those assists for Blindberg. There was a couple when we were chatting to Liam Santa Maria where it was a lovely pass and then the shot just missed as well. How many assists do you think he's going to average during the season?
I wouldn't put it past him to average 6 or 7 assists, to be honest.
How many triple-doubles are we going to see from Blindberg? Are we going to see more than 1?
It's hard to say. I just haven't seen enough of him play yet to know if he's going to be a consistent rebounder yet.
Yeah,
and also a consistent scorer. But there are times when he's aggressive and there are times when he just doesn't look for his own shot. So we'll get a better sense out of the next couple of weeks. But he certainly has that triple-double ability as Sobey gets fouled pretty hard there by Krebs and
what a pass.
Asked the question. It was a great pass.
Yeah, the
by
officials
Blindberg.
are
They're going to have a chat as to whether there's anything extra here, but it looks like just a regular foul. 2 shots for Sobey, back to the free throw line.
He's certainly made a living from the charity stripe in this game. Free throw attempts 13 and 14 for Nathan Sobey.
10 out of 13 now for Sobes from the line. Of course, last NBL season shot 83% from the charity stripe. Always been proficient from there.
Margin now out to 13. 56 plays 43. Walker with some fancy footwork.
And Phoenix trying to trap a little bit in the backcourt there, but the skills of Tyson Walker beat that pretty easily as we get a foul on Aaliyah now, and that'll put Milton Doyle on the free throw line. So the foul count continues here in this second half early on.
You mentioned the minutes restriction and the fouls in the last time they played that double overtime thriller. The scoreboard keeps ticking over like this, then we might be in a similar situation. You mentioned Milton Doyle playing in Puerto Rico. One name that we didn't mention was actually a teammate of his over there in Sam Wardenberg.
Indeed. And Wardenberg had a big load, which is kind of one of the reasons why he didn't make the trip down to Melbourne for these preseason games this week. His season extended late into July, so, you know, he just needed to kind of deload for a little bit before he builds back up for this NBL season.
He was leading the scoring for that team as well. He's averaging about 20 points a game. So the margin at 11 from those two free throws. Sobey draws another whistle. He cannot be stopped in this game.
And you know, one thing that was really important there, though, was Geordie Hunter's knocked down 3 triples, and he's hunting threes now at the top there. That creates space for Nathan Sobey to operate, because you have to respect that shot of Jordan Hunter when he's on like he is tonight.
The addition of... Well, Hunter's always had that 3 in his arsenal, but the addition of a guy like a DJ Mitchell and a Renz Blindberg who can knock down that shot, and specifically Malik Lewis adding that 3 to his arsenal, along with being the elite defender that he is. This is why, you know, we talk about Sobey being more comfortable, because now he's got so much more space to make decisions, and the majority of the time he's going to make the right one, whether it's for himself or for a teammate.
Indeed. And, you know, as you said earlier in the call, year 2 in this program, in this system, and really getting to understand his role and how Josh King wants to play a lot better coming into this second season with a full preseason together.
Those long arms of Blindberg causing problems once again.
Geordie Hunter last season only made 9 threes on the season, but that was a career high for him in terms of makes in the NBL during a season. Shot it at 33%, which was also a career high, but looks like he's certainly been working more on that 3-ball in the off-season, because it looks pretty sweet and pure right now.
Good rip by Doyle, but the shot's no good. Gets his own rebound.
And Hunter continues to be a pest at the rim defensively.
There's the mismatch.
And
Doyle.
That time he brought the arm down.
And you can see just Milton Doyle, just the confidence and the...
You see it here on the replay. Right there.
Yeah. Easy call for the officials. A little bit of frustration in the call, but more personal disappointment. Milton Doyle looks so nonchalant when he does everything on the basketball court. It looks like he's not trying. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible.
Just a baller. Just knows how to create separation, find his shot, really good with angles. And a very sweet stroke.
They're making noise here in the heartland, that's for sure.
Doyle knocks down a pair and margin back to 10.
Here's Maldonado, guarded by Doyle. Fun little battle between these two imports. Now Blindberg with 7 on the shot clock.
He was looking for the lob to Hunter originally, and that was cut off. And
Doyle, good ball movement here by United. Bowen with the deep 2 gets it to go.
He certainly has that range as Kyle Bowen. We know he can knock down the 3-ball. Much improved the last couple of years. 10 points on the night now for Bowen. Has not missed a shot yet. He is 3 for 3 from the field and 3 for 3 from the line.
Ball's going to stay with the Phoenix. Coach Barlow wanted the foul. I think he potentially justifiably frustrated in the call. Just having a chat about how long is left on the shot clock. It's going to stay at 15 as the Phoenix can inbound in the backcourt. And then Doyle just caught a little bit too overzealous. As he gets called for that reach in.
That's the 4th team foul on United already. 7:22 still to play in this third quarter, so it's going to be bonus free throws the rest of the way now for the Phoenix. The foul discipline, shall we say, has not been great. Really for either team, but especially for Melbourne United tonight.
And the thing is, for the most part, they're fouls. It's definitely preseason. I keep harping back on it, but it's the truth. Blindberg finds some space off the screen, no good.
Great box out from Bowen there.
Krebs penetrates. Edwards in the corner. Walker in the corner, excuse me.
Nice
gets it to go.
Nice playmaking there from Tanner Krebs. Good penetration. Get to the top of the key. He had Krislovic on the drag. He had Walker in the corner.
Maldonado, no good on the dump-off pass.
Never an easy one for a big man to catch when it's at his feet like that.
Doyle, lovely pass. Bowen with the push shot is no good.
Blindberg with playmaking duties. Hunter again from deep, this time a little long.
You can tell that he's got that confidence back. There was a hand in his face and it still had the confidence to shoot it. Bowen.
Good hands by Alier there.
Walker launches the quick three, gets it to go.
2-point game all of a sudden, Jamie, as United continues to excel from 3-point range where they've struggled from the interior tonight.
They have dominated in this third quarter.
Walker now with 5 triples on the game. All 5 of his field goals have been from 3-point range.
There's another turnover. Maldonado called for the foul, and Tanner Krebs has the chance to tie this up.
Well, we thought it was going to be more competitive here in the second half in terms of the margin. It certainly appears that way right now. We've got a couple of subs in for the Phoenix. Owen Foxwell and Gorjok Gak check back in as Maldonado and Geordie Hunter take a seat.
Nick Tartar checking in as well as Krislovic heads to the bench. Nick Tartar with that headband, I keep thinking it's Josh Boone.
Yeah, he does look a bit like Josh Boone from distance, from up here anyway.
And Nick Tartar in the best shape of his professional career right now. He's been playing in the NBL1 South. He was with Nunawading Spectres the last couple of seasons. Only played a handful of games this year, but he's being rewarded for his hard work.
Chard has checked back in for Tanner Krebs for United as Gak inside can't convert. A chance for United to take the lead now with their first lead of the game if they can.
Walker loses his footing.
We got a late foul call, but a bit of a trip call from Ken Widgeon. I think that's the right one.
It's on Blindberg, and Blindberg does not like the call whatsoever.
And Josh King just telling him to calm down. We saw that a little bit on Tuesday night, Renz Blindberg, arguing with a number of calls, not used to the officiating here in the NBL just yet.
And as a bigger man in the NBL, we harp on it, it's a cliche, but it is very tough to adjust to at times.
That was his third foul. So he's taken a seat now. DJ Mitchell back in.
Doyle on the 45, halfway down, no good. Tartar with the O-board, kicks it out.
Walker on fire. 6 triples now for the new United import, Tyson Walker. And I tell you what, you have a look at him from this distance, and his build a little bit reminds me of Casper Ware. He's a little bit taller than Casper Ware.
Sorby
but just has that big upper body strength and really nice balance on that 3-ball, and he's putting that on full effect here tonight.
Doyle takes on Lewis. Dump off pass, Tartar. He's going to head to the free throw line. And all of a sudden, we've got a ball game on our hands, Tom.
Indeed. Wouldn't expect anything else from this rivalry, Jamie. Tyson Walker, 6 of 7 from three-point range tonight. 18 points, leads all scorers.
Tata gets the first free throw to go. Extends that lead out to 2.
Walker had 12 points on Thursday night against Cairns at Casey. Knocked down 2 triples there in 20 minutes of action.
He's headed to the bench now. Tom Wilson checks in, as is Campbell, Blogg and Finn Delaney. So United by 3. 4.5 minutes left in this third quarter.
Got another foul. That's on Wilson for a little push off the ball, and that's going to send Nathan Sobey back to where else but the charity stripe.
Tell you what, there's in the basketball world in the last couple of months, there's been a lot of talk about free throw merchants. But is that not the smartest way to play basketball?
At times.
Get 3 points.
This is not necessarily Sobey hunting free throws,
exactly.
though. He's just getting fouled a lot. He's putting pressure on the opposing defense, and he's getting them to foul. He's getting them to bite. He's not hunting free throws like a James Harden would, for example. It's a little bit different, but had a great impact from there tonight, Sobes. 19 points now on the night.
He's gone to the bench now as Dan Foster checks in. 1 point ball game. Blogg, lovely pass to Tata. Just roaming along the baseline. And Josh King calls a timeout, and he goes straight over to Gorjok Ak. I dare say that was a missed assignment.
Indeed. And you know what? It's the time to chew out your players over what you expect from them at this time of year. That's how you learn. That's how you correct these things. That's how you get better as you build up towards the season. So I like that from Josh King. He's setting the tone. He's setting the standard for how he wants his team to play. He wasn't here for preseason last year. He took over 5 games into the season and had to build them back up. Now it's his team. Now it's his system from the get-go. And there are certain things that he expects from his team. As you see Tyson Walker knocking down the triple. We're seeing some of the highlights of his shots. He's had a great night. 6 out of 7 from long range. The Phoenix are under pressure in this game now. And again, it's just preseason. I get it. But there are certain things that Josh King wants his team to be doing on both ends of the floor. There are certain things he wants to get out of these games. And, you know, to cough up a 22-point lead in the matter of about 10 to 12 minutes of game time, that's probably not going to get it done if you're Josh King. He's very demanding as a head coach, and rightly so.
And I'll tell you what, you say it's only pre-season, but this is still a throwdown to these teams.
Yeah.
This is still absolutely...
Yeah, it means a little bit more.
Like we said, last time these two teams met in pre-season, double overtime, and it still ended up being a shot on the buzzer. And then they split the season series 2 apiece, with only 1 point separating in all 4 games. Big brother, little brother.
Well short there from Foster. Lewis keeps it alive and Wilson can't corral it, but it'll be 6 seconds on the shot clock. Ball never touched iron on that Foster 3-point attempt. Nice find from Foxwell, but Foster was well short on that one.
Shot clock down to 3. Foxy has to get it up. Draws the whistle.
That was hunting a foul, and that was smart.
Yep.
From Owen Foxwell. He had Blogg moving, he was off balance, and he ensured that there was contact and earns himself 3 free throws now.
So we haven't seen a lot of Owen Foxwell in this game. Obviously still recovering from what was a ridiculous off-season with him dominating in the New Zealand League and then, of course, jetting off with the Boomers. What does that experience do to someone who's still so young like Owen Foxwell?
I mean, it's just a great boost for his confidence because not only was he picked for the Boomers team, but he played quite a significant role for them.
He started,
exactly.
Most, if not all, games, I believe.
So he is someone who's going to come back into this system with a ton of confidence He's seen different systems. He's seen different defensive coverages. And he knows that he can play against, you know, some really, really high-level talent around the world, as we see another foul, much to your dismay. And it's become really a free-throw shooting contest here tonight. But for Owen Foxwell, you know, again, he's going to reinsert himself into this system, ramp up with this team after being away for a while. You know, he'll get a few more reps next week at the Blitz, and then it's up to Josh King as to where he sees him fitting into this lineup. Ultimately, there's some chatter, and Josh King said this to me personally a week ago, that, you know, Foxy may be their starting point guard this season. It may be Hunter Maldonado. He hasn't quite settled yet. It may vary from game to game, but certainly, you know, he got the contract extension late in last season. Did Owen Foxwell, and he's going to come into this season with a ton of confidence and self-belief, and know that the coaching staff believe in him as well to get it done.
Good take to the ring by Foster.
And you see Campbell Blogg pick up another foul there. That's his second foul in quick succession, having fouled Foxy on the three-point range. And, you know, for Campbell Blogg, he hasn't been on a basketball court for the better part of about 7 or 8 months following that shoulder surgery. So, you know, he looks a bit disgruntled with himself right now, but it takes some time to get your rhythm back, your legs back, your timing back, and that's on both ends of the floor. You know, defense is as much around about timing as offense is. So, you know, it's going to be a process for Campbell to build back up and get into, you know, a good rhythm on both ends, shall we say.
Foster at the free throw line. Back to a 1-point game. Nearly comes up with the steal as well, does Foster.
Yeah, good pressure there.
And this is what we're going to see from the Phoenix. 40 minutes of full court pressure. So then, you know, going back to talking about Foxwell, it's likely that he's still going to probably play the same amount of minutes, whether he's starting or coming off the bench, because of
no doubt
how quick Josh King pushes through these subs and how aggressive they need to play.
Great pressure from the Phoenix, and
Dash. Easy call for the official there on the travel.
Even before that, United was really sped up at the end there. They had just 10 seconds to start running something by the time they actually got into their set. Wilson takes a seat, Krebs back in. It's a great defensive set that time from South East Melbourne.
Foxwell and Daniels, two of the future of Australian basketball, going head-to-head as Mitchell, strong take to the ring.
Wow.
Absorbs the contact and one. Krizlovic called for the foul. And we saw how good a game DJ Mitchell had on Tuesday night against the Taipans.
19 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, 5 out of 7 from long range in just, 19 minutes of action.
Ridiculous.
He looks a lot better right now than the player we saw with the Brisbane Bullets 2 years ago.
100%. Here's Daniels. Good take to the ring.
Really nice.
Count the points and the foul.
Really nice. You know Liam Santamaria likes that one.
Yeah, I'm literally watching him as he's sitting next to Olgun Ulic. He's going to retweet that one, that's for sure.
It's a great confident take by Dash Daniels. And that's, you know, that's the thing about him. At 17, he doesn't take a back seat to anyone. He believes in himself. He's got the build to compete with grown men already. And he's got that ability to make plays, just like you saw there.
Tell you what, he's got some nice shoes on as well. They are flash. Gets the free throw to go, 69-67.
Are you going to identify them for our viewers? Because I don't know what they are.
They're Hardens, I believe.
Okay.
The ball's going to go the way of Melbourne United.
If you're just joining us, Melbourne United leads by 2 points, 69-67. They trailed by 22 points in the second period. Reduced the margin to 9 at half-time. And they've taken the lead here in the third quarter. Did not lead for a single second in the first half.
28-18. Third quarter. There's still 2 minutes 40 to go as well. Daniels beats the pressure. Coppins with a head full of steam. Might have been deflected by Gack. Now Foxwell hangs in the air. Krizlovic with the block, but Coppins with the foul from behind.
Just smart body control there by Foxwell. Had Coppins on his back. You know, decelerates ever so slightly. You force the contact, you get yourself back to the free throw line. And that's the maturity, the maturation in the game of Owen Foxwell. Still just, 21 years of age?
22 years old.
Just turned 22 this year. So still very young, a lot of years of development left in him. 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2.6 assists last season with the Phoenix. Shot it at 41% from three-point range and 48% overall. Started 7 games for Josh King. But his game just continues to grow and develop.
Krizlovic. The late foul comes. The late whistle comes. That's on Gack. But just quickly back to Foxwell. It was the back end of the season where you saw him get a lot of the starts and a lot of the key minutes, a lot of the finishes.
Yep.
He was on in crunch time,
Yep.
playing some really good defense.
He had to step up when Derek Walton Jr. got injured, and he did a really good job of it as they made their run to the postseason.
So do we expect that to be the benchmark for him, or based on his off-season, is he going beyond that in NBL 26?
I mean, he has the ability to go beyond that in 26. He's going to continue to get better and keep growing. But certainly I think that should be almost the baseline expectation for Owen Foxwell this year. That's a travel.
Yeah, Blindberg just back in the game and immediately turns it over.
He's had a rough second half here. If I could see that from up here, it was clearly a travel. Here it is there. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's a travel in the NBA.
Yeah.
That's 6 or 7
Travel
cents.
anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world.
That's Russell Westbrook walking the ball up half court with the ball under his arm. Daniels has the mismatch on Gack. Decides against it. Doyle, 5 on the shot clock versus Lewis. Gets him caught in the air, but the shot's no good. He'll want a second go at that one. Foxwell pulls up, speaking of confidence. No good, but Foster puts in the hard work and keeps possession for his team. Here he is. Hangs in the air. That's a great take by the development player. Ties us back up at 71 apiece.
And these minutes for someone like Daniel Foster are just invaluable. He came back from 5 years at college at Nevada. You know, he played in the NBL1 this offseason and now getting a chance to play against one of the best teams in the NBL in Melbourne United the last couple of years and have an impact.
Coppins called for that foul in transition. Big bonus free throws here for Malik Lewis. 68 seconds left in quarter number 3. We are tied up at 71 apiece.
I'd love to know where this game ranks in terms of total free throw attempts in the record books. Just in the third quarter, and we've already had 71 free throw attempts. We're about to have 72 and 73. That seems like a high number to me. If anybody out there is listening and you can look it up somehow, tweet it out, tag us, let us know. It's a lot of free throws.
Hashtag NBL26.
Sorry, post on X.
Nah, tweet. Phoenix retake the lead. 73-71. Final minute of this third term. Foul called off the ball. Foxwell doesn't like it, but Walker's on the floor.
And it's going to send Walker to the line.
He seems a little bit worse for wear.
Stretching out that shoulder. Had one viewer just text me a moment ago and said if Casper's the ghost, then Tyson Walker's the phantom. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
Not bad.
I don't mind that.
Here he is at the line. Product of Michigan State. And then spent last year with the Texas Legends in the NBA G League. His first year overseas. Splits the pair. Margin stays at 1. Aaliyah back in the game.
Ooh.
Might have got away with an extra step. Lewis is no good from 3, and a good box out there by Doyle. Coppins right at the ring. Tough finish.
Really nice roll there. Good setup from Milton Doyle. Coppins with just his first bucket of the game.
Now they're trading this lead back and forth. 8 seconds between shot and game clock. Lewis, guarded by Coppins, takes him all the way to the ring.
And there's that strength in his frame that we were talking about with Liam Santamaria in the second quarter. That was pretty good defense from Coppins, and Lewis went right through his body.
Doyle, 2 on the clock, pulls up for 3. That's too strong. And as we turn for home, it's a 1-point lead to the South East Melbourne Phoenix, 75-74. Forget preseason. This is, both of these teams are playing to win right now.
Yeah, this is a really competitive game. Again, it's a lot of fouls. We get that. It's a lot of free throw attempts. As there's that again, that nice roll from Coppins, a great pocket pass from Milton Doyle to set up his new teammate. But it's a really competitive game, and that's what you want out of a preseason hit-out. Again, it doesn't really matter what the score is. It doesn't matter who wins or loses. You just want these teams to play hard and get the most out of their time on the court, and we are certainly seeing that in spades from all the players on both teams here tonight.
For United, they've really started to shoot the ball a lot better now. 35% from the field, whereas the Phoenix are starting to really drop down. They're at 38%.
Yeah, United went 8 out of 15 from the floor in that third period, which was pretty impressive. They also shot 15 free throw attempts in that period. The Phoenix shot 18.
Oh.
And both teams shooting at a pretty good clip, although the Phoenix have fallen away a little bit. 31 out of 40 now, 78%. United shooting at 89%, 31 out of 35, and that's been a big part of their comeback in this game. They did take the lead there for a little while in that third period, trailing by 1 now heading into the fourth, Jamie.
And the man who really led the way for United was Tyson Walker. He's got 19 points right now, 6 of 7 from beyond the arc.
You see there United with 19 assists to just 9 for the Phoenix in the ball game, and that's pretty impressive. 25 makes, 19 assists on 25 made field goals.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And of course, Chris Golding, Shea Ely and Jesse Edwards to come into this Melbourne United team as well.
And for the Phoenix, John Brown III and Angus Glover, as Walker can't connect over the outstretched arm of Bleinberg.
Here's that positionless basketball. What a pass. Aaliyah no good. Tata plays some good D. And that ball's going to go back to the Phoenix. Finn Delaney does not seem to agree with the call. I'm not sure if he thinks he got fouled or if the ball was knocked out of his hands, but
Delaney's had a bit of a frustrating night here tonight compared to what he faced on Thursday. Been in foul trouble early as Maldonado can't connect. He was in foul trouble earlier, Delaney.
Great hustle once again by Daniel Foster. And then the ball's immediately thrown away. Maldonado.
Foul. Maldonado puts his hand up, takes that one.
Calls the foul and takes an accidental shoe in the back of the noggin. Just the first foul of the quarter.
Yeah, third foul on Maldonado. Tata with the mismatch on Foster. Now they switch back.
It's not going to do too much damage out there. 10 seconds here for Walker. Something's got to happen pretty quick. Delaney, 2 on the shot clock. Gets aggressive. Doesn't beat the buzzer. Was hoping he could get the foul called, but the shot clock wins out.
We've seen a number of good defensive sequences from the Phoenix. They've certainly come a long way in their defensive capabilities from some of the teams we've seen in the past.
Oh, Blindberg, perfect vision. Aaliyah puts a lid on it.
And that's assist number 8 for Renz Blindberg. Just the 4 points, but he has 6 boards and 8 assists.
Not quite triple-double watch, or?
Not quite.
Doyle.
Having a lovely impact nonetheless.
Oh, Doyle just blows the layup at the ring. Aaliyah just hit 1. Gets all the way to the ring, no good. But he cleans up his own mess. Walker turning on the Jets. Foster on the floor once again. Lob up. Aaliyah with the jam.
The catch, Aaliyah making things happen, but so are his teammates defensively. You love that hustle from Foster. Great setup by Maldonado. And the Phoenix have just gone on a 7-0 run. And all of a sudden, United needs a timeout. There's Dan Foster on the ground, kicking it ahead. Maldonado with the pinpoint perfect lob. The Ketchalia knows to do what to do with it there. Not the prettiest landing, but
he kept the lander though.
but it was nice up top. Yeah,
8.3. I would say as the lead is now out to 8. 2 minutes gone.
11 points now for Aaliyah. He's having a really nice impact after 16 points on Tuesday night. Here's another look at that.
Oh.
I think he needed to hang on the rim a bit longer, maybe.
Yeah,
just to balance himself on the way down. But hey, good on him. Great finish, great entertainment for the crowd here. This sold-out crowd at the State Basketball Centre.
Well, 11 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal for a Ketchalia. But it's the things that, you know, those 1%ers, he was boxing out really hard this entire game. He's played some solid defense right under the basket as well. All these things that really cement you as a Josh King type of guy.
Absolutely.
As has Daniel Foster as well. He's been really doing the grunt work in his minutes on the floor, and that's kind of what you have to do as a DP. You're not going to get a whole lot of minutes, if any, realistically. So this is the time to really highlight that pit bull nature that Angus Glover was talking about on Tuesday. So the margin is at 8 right now. Krizlovic is caught. Machar from the corner draws the whistle.
Maldonado thinks he got all ball. Josh King out on the floor instructing Malik Lewis. It'll be Malik Machar to the free throw line for Melbourne United. Try and trim this margin a little bit back. Maybe get it back to a 2-possession game again.
So where do you see Malik Machar in this United rotation throughout the year? This is probably one of the tougher ones.
Yeah.
Because we see the season that he had in the NBL 1, where he absolutely dominated that. He was all first team in the South Conference. But he didn't even get a contract until the latter part of that. So he's got the runs on the board, but finding a spot in this rotation is going to be so difficult.
I think he's going to be used as a bit of a spark plug off the bench at times. I think there's going to be nights where he won't play. But to me, and this is probably true of everyone on this roster, but if you play for a Dean Vickerman team, you have to be able to defend at a high level consistently.
Yep.
Right? And so that's maybe my one question mark with Malik. He is a good defender, as you see right there. Is he a consistent defender? Can he guard bigger bodies? at 6'8", 6'9", as he is, he's going to have to play 3 and sometimes small ball 4 in the NBL. He will play some 2 here and there. Can he defend the bigger bodies consistently? Can he switch on to bigs and hold his own? And I think he probably can with some more reps at this level. He can certainly do just that. We know he can hit corner threes in spades. That is, and again, he'll come on and he'll be that spark plug. He'll help them get on runs here and there. But I think he's probably going to be more like the 10th, 11th man in this rotation on particular nights. Maybe the 9th man on particular nights. So he's not going to play huge minutes every game. But certainly someone that I think will have some moments throughout the season. And as you see here, has just helped them to a 6-0 run.
Well, you talk about spark plugs.
Yeah,
That's exactly what he's done.
3 free throws, a corner 3. And we're back to a 2-point game.
82 plays 80, 7.5 minutes left.
But I'm a big fan of Malik Machar, so I don't want to undersell his value. And not just from what we saw at Sandringham, the way he's gone about it for a number of years. He's a bit of a unique talent in this league because there aren't many guys who predominantly play 2 or 3 who are his size and his length. He is a good 6'8", 6'9", what is he, 203 centimetres, 6'8", by the official listing. He's 26 years of age, so he's been around the traps for a little bit now. But I think what he did in the NBL 1 is going to be really good for his confidence because
he was the main guy for the majority of the season at the Sabres until
Ben Air came along. Yeah, and then they kind of tag teamed a lot, and he was the leading scorer in the grand final when they won the championship here last weekend. So he comes in with a ton of confidence. He's shooting the ball exceptionally well. That corner 3 ball, he doesn't miss many of them at all. And he has really good length as well.
Here he is guarding Blindberg.
He's the kind of player that Josh King would probably like on his team, to be honest.
Hunter has a massive size advantage, but Krislovic wins it. Maldonado nearly comes up with it.
Well, I think he did and then got stripped back.
Delaney all the way to the ring.
Really nice finish.
Tied back up at 82.
Really nice finish by Delaney there with the left hand over Malik Lewis. Doyle called for the foul there.
Just to slow things up a little bit. Just the second team foul. Or the first team foul, excuse me.
Bowen and Wilson back in for Melbourne United. Delaney and Doyle take a rest. Owen Foxwell back in.
Yeah, Maldonado sitting down.
Here's Blindberg.
15 on the shot clock. Lewis can't cheat off him anymore. That 3 is automatic nowadays.
And that's another assist for Blindberg. His 9th of the game. 12 points now for Lewis.
That's the second three that he's hit in this game. He hit a couple here on Tuesday night as well.
He hit 3 of them, I believe.
Krislovic blocked by Lewis. Sent right to the Phoenix bench. That was perfect timing.
Here's another look at it here. Oh, didn't quite get it.
Yeah, United just want to push the pace. They don't want to let this Heartland crowd really start to play a factor once again. Machar
that's just
finishes through the contact.
Too easy off the sideline out of bounds play. Lewis tried to get over and help coverage there, but got there late, and Machar with another 2 and a chance to make it 3 more. So Machar having himself a very nice fourth quarter. Here's the inbounds from Walker, and look how open Machar is there until Lewis comes over late.
He really has been that spark plug in this fourth quarter. Ties us back up at 85 apiece.
10 points now for Malik Machar. 9 of them coming in this fourth quarter.
Foxwell lets the defender blow by. Knocks down the jump shot from the elbow. Walker.
There's the pace from Walker. We haven't really seen that much tonight. He's been living on the 3-point line as Wilson saves it.
That's a
Oh, no, I think that's going to be a
violation.
As Bowen took off from the backcourt. Great hustle by Wilson, but that explosion from Tyson Walker, let's get another look at it here, right here. Just turns on the jets and gets all the way to the cup with a nice left-handed finish. And again, when you make that many threes, you have to be respected, and that can open up his driving game. So a lot to like about the offensive game of Tyson Walker for those fans who are getting their first look at him tonight.
Hunter, feet set. No good on the three. Wilson with the strong rebound, tries to push the pace. Walker and Bowen with the two-man game. Krislovic wide open in the corner.
Great offense from Melbourne United right there. Really nice ball movement. Cole Bowen put a lot of pressure on the defense there and found Krislovic wide open as a result as Krebs comes up with the steal now. And here's Wilson looking to push in transition.
Walker finds way too much space.
Can't leave him alone.
Game
Tyson
high.
Walker, 24 points.
And it's a game high 6-point lead for Melbourne United halfway through this final quarter.
And Bleinberg just left him wide open.
Yeah, that's miscommunication on defense, and that's the type of thing that the preseason is about figuring out what do we do in X and Y situations. But these are the exact type of things that Josh King would be so frustrated about.
19-5 run by Melbourne United right now.
And what do you think has sparked that? What's changed?
They've definitely been a lot more active defensively. They've turned it up on that end of the floor, but they're starting to move the ball a lot better down the other end. They're putting pressure on South East Melbourne's defensive transition as well. And they're shooting really nicely from the outside. Malith Machar, as you mentioned, a great spark off the bench. 9 points in this quarter, all in this run here actually. All 9 of those points in this 19-5 run. And this is United at their best, and you know they don't even have some of their bigger name players and 3 potential starters out on the floor tonight in Golding, Illy and Jesse Edwards. And you talk about how this is a vastly different looking Melbourne United roster to the last couple of years where they made the grand final 2 years running, but this roster's deep and they have a lot of smart players on this team.
Halfway through this final quarter, 6-point lead to United. Lewis, no good from 3. Maldonado crashing the boards. He's looking really pesky on those O boards. Asobi's no good, and another offensive rebound. He's looking like he's going to be a dog in that paint as he waltzes in for an easy 2.
I really like the way he plays. I haven't seen a ton of him yet, but I've seen enough to know that I like it. Lewis.
Easy to the ring, and just like that, back to a one-possession game.
Great fight by the Phoenix. Don't say preseason doesn't mean anything, folks. These teams want to win.
Well, I said exactly that coming out of half-time is whenever these two teams play one another, it's fireworks, that's for sure. Krebs straight on 3 is good. 91 plays 96.
Josh King calling out a play from the sideline.
Aaliyah, how electric has he been? He doesn't get the 3 to go. Wilson refuses to be stopped. Daniels for 3. No good that time. Sobey with the mismatch. Pulls back for a 3 of his own.
2. Deep 2.
Oh, no, out of 2 on the line.
Deep 2. 3-point game.
93-96. 3 minutes left. Ball's knocked out of bounds. And
well, if you want to know if it's winning time or not, Melbourne United just brought back in their 2 imports, Walker and Doyle, and out go Wilson and Daniels. So they're certainly playing to win right now.
Foxwell's just sat down as well. It was deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with United. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
United trail by 22 points in the third quarter, by 9 at half time. They're up by 3 here now with 3 minutes to play.
Walker pulls back for a deep 2.
Sobey skies in for that defensive rebound.
Nobody ever told Sobey that this was a preseason game. He is playing like it's game 5 of the championship series.
Punch screen from Bowen.
Krislovic somehow finds Krebs in the corner. What a pass. Shot's no good, but Krislovic with an offensive rebound of his own. Ball's deflected out. Maldonado doesn't like it.
Leading that it hit Bowen last. From here it looks like the right call, but doesn't really matter. The ball will stay with Melbourne United.
Yeah. Finn Delaney's just checked back in as well, so it is certainly winning time. Doyle off the inbound. High off the ring, but no good.
Josh King animated as ever on the sideline.
That ball's out of bounds.
Sobey.
Last off the leg of Sobey, says the official.
Let's have another look at it right here. Did Walker touch it last, or did it come off Sobey's leg? Tough to see from that angle. But
Cannot tell from that.
Damien Lyons, the official, was right on that. No doubt he had the correct call.
Final 2 minutes of regulation at least. United by 3. Doyle aggressive.
Barrels his way through the DP, Daniel Foster, and gets himself to the free throw line.
Josh King does not like the call. He's been given a warning. Milton Doyle to the line.
Doyle just 6 points tonight. He's been a bit quiet offensively. Can't connect on that first one.
Well, all 6 of his points have come from the free throw line. That was his first miss of the game. 0 for 9 from the field. Splits the pair. Important basket. It's now up to 4 points. Maldonado.
Oh, look
Gets
at
to the ring
attack.
himself. No foul called.
I think he got blocked by the rim there. Walker.
Making it look easy, and United extend this margin to 6. Foster.
Smart. Great take by the young man, Daniel Foster. He's strong. He's a strong guard. Big body.
Certainly has that pit bull attitude and plays some hard defense, that's for sure. Let's see what he can do. Krebs running this clock down. Walters in. Bowen draws the whistle.
Lewis puts his hand up. Got a bit of body there. They got a bit of ball up top, but I think it was a foul down below. Here's another look at it. Nice dump off from Krebs. Oh no, he got the arm.
A little bit of the wrist,
arm there. So Kyle Bowen will go to the free throw line. Solid game for Bowen. 9 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals. Done a little bit of everything tonight for Melbourne United. 3 out of 3 from the free throw line so far tonight. Looking for 100 for Melbourne United right here. And Jamie shakes his head in disgust at me. He knew as soon as I quoted his free throw numbers that I'd cursed him.
This partisan crowd is certainly making a lot of noise in the heartland.
Bowen good on the second. It's 100-95 now. A minute 10 to play here at the State Basketball Centre. Are we going to go to overtime for the second year in a row?
Josh King is sticking with Foster. Foul called off the ball on Walker.
I mean, I would dare say that Owen Foxwell on a very heavy minutes restriction in his first game back tonight, and he's probably reached that limit.
Just the second team foul for Melbourne United. Down to Aaliyah. Offensive foul called.
It's on a Ketchalier.
United bench are up and a certainly.
Yeah, a little
we have
push. Just didn't need to do that. Already set the screen. Sobey was already gone.
Down to the final minute now.
And there's Maldonado making life very tough for Tyson Walker. Phoenix need to stop in the worst way here.
United going to run some clock, you would imagine. Use all of this final 13 seconds on the shot clock.
Look at Maldonado.
Doyle. Sobey got a fingertip on it.
5 on the shot clock. Doyle got to go quickly.
Caught in the air. Forces it up and it goes.
What a way to hit his first field goal of the night. Milton Doyle. Right in the face of Foster.
Blindberg responds quickly with a triple. Margin is at 4. Phoenix going to have to foul, and they do immediately.
Heads up from Sobey. Doyle will go back to the line.
We speak about that defense of Foster.
Yes. Wow. I mean, he literally could not have done anything more.
If he played any better defense, he would have fouled him. And then Blindberg just walks into a triple of his own. It's been a quiet night from him on the points department. What a big moment to knock down a clutch triple. Doyle, calm as ever. He knows what to do in the clutch moments.
10 points for Doyle now. Just 1 out of 10 from the field tonight. That one shot over Foster just a moment ago. 2-possession game.
Maldonado. Krebs making life uncomfortable. Blindberg no good. And then the foul called. It's going to stay with the Phoenix.
Delaney does not like it. Sits down straight away. I guess he's fouled out of the game. That's just the 3rd team foul for United, so it doesn't put Aaliyah on the free throw line, but it does give the ball back to the Phoenix. 12.8 left on the clock.
Well, they need a triple. It's pretty easy.
They need something quick, whatever it is.
They go straight to Blindberg. Finds a bit of space. No good. Aaliyah, got to go quick. Gets it.
Timeout.
What a shot from Akecha Aaliyah.
Timeout United.
There's a pulse. 101 to 104.
Well, last year we saw a couple of big triples late in the game. Angus Glover hit one. Ian Clark banked one in. We went to overtime twice last season. Akecha Aaliyah trying to keep his team alive. They really need to come up with a steal here and go quickly to tie this thing and send it to overtime. United just needs to inbound safely and wait to be fouled, and then making at least one free throw should be enough to seal this ball game. But it's been a great contest. It really has been a lot of fun for a preseason game.
Well, you would expect nothing less. A throwdown is a throwdown any time of the year. It might still be August, but as far as the players and the coaches and the fans know, it's mid-March right now. 6.3 seconds.
How about Akecha Aaliyah? He's averaging 15 points, 7 rebounds across these first two preseason games for Josh King. And again, John Brown III not here yet. Aaliyah playing a bigger role than he will once Brown arrives, but he's certainly made a case to Josh King that he deserves to be part of his rotation with the way he's been playing.
To be Tanner Krebs to inbound. Phoenix are over the limit, so just got to get the ball in. They go straight into Walker, who's fouled immediately. 1.3 seconds taken off the clock.
Fouls on Blindberg. His fourth.
Walker to the line. What a game he has had. 26 points. 7 of 8 from the three-point line. 1 of 3 now at the charity stripe.
Needs this one to seal it. Otherwise, the door is ajar for the Phoenix.
He's good.
Oh,
Quick inbound. Sobey, feet set. It's short. Foul called. That'll be on Maldonado with 0.6 on the clock. And that will wrap this game up. But even then, like you said, that's the second inbound that Blindberg has had where he's just stepped back and quarterback Hail Mary'd it right in the perfect spot.
But it's two-hand passes. These are chest passes. That is not easy to do, to throw it 3/4 the length of the court on the money. It reminds me of a young Kevin Love, who was just an exceptional long-court passer early in his career with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
So Krebs goes 2 for 2. Maldonado from 3/4 court.
Ooh, had a chance.
It's just off. But Melbourne United end this game down 22 points in the second half. They win this game by 6, 101 to 107. And I know we often say in the preseason that the score doesn't matter. The score mattered in this one for Melbourne United. They are absolutely going to take this as some momentum going into the start of the season.
No doubt, no doubt. And again, everything is a building block at this stage of the preseason. Everything is just getting a little bit better day by day, game by game, experience by experience. And for Melbourne United to come back from 22 down, that's a really good sign for the character of this team as they continue to mesh and come together. There are a lot of new faces on this roster for NBL26. So for them to come together like this and fight through that adversity early, fight through their offensive struggles and find a way to come back, get themselves in front and go on and win. You know, even once they got in front, they got down by 8 again and they had to make another run. You know, get a spark from some unlikely sources. It gives Dean Vickerman a lot to work with and some guys that he knows he can rely on, you know, as this season progresses, to step up in key moments, to play a role, to give a spark at times. The other thing is he has to really like what he got out of Tyson Walker tonight because, you know, that young man really showed us what he's about. And again, he's more of an assist guy than a scorer traditionally where he's played, you know, when he played overseas, where he played in the G League. Tonight, he had his scoring on. Obviously, that 3-ball as well, 27 points. What was the final 3-point numbers? 7 out of 8 overall from 3-point range. I mean, that is elite shooting. In the G League last year, he averaged 14 points and about 6 assists. Shot about 35% from 3. But, you know, certainly if he's going to shoot the ball at a high clip and make defenses respect him, as I said earlier, that's going to open up the rest of his game. And that's going to open up his driving ability and his playmaking ability. And we've seen a little glimmer of that. We haven't seen a full glimmer, but a great showing from that young man and certainly something for United fans to get excited about heading into this season.
For the Phoenix as well, you know, plenty to still be excited about. I think one big part is Jordan Hunter knocking down 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, just adding another notch in his bow, making that shot a bit more consistent and a genuine threat. And then Kechalia really just making some noise and really putting up a solid argument for himself to get some minutes in NBL26.
Yeah, I mean, just starting with Geordie Hunter, that's really big for them because once John Brown comes into this lineup, he is not a three-point shooter. In fact, he doesn't even attempt them. He doesn't take them. So if Geordie Hunter can consistently stretch the floor at times, there are going to be times where he's sharing the floor with Hunter. There are going to be times when Hunter's playing as more of like a bit of a small ball 5. But the ability for Geordie to stretch the floor is going to be really big with John Brown in the lineup. And then you talked about a Kechalia. I mean, we know what he does at NBL 1 level. He was elite this year, making the South Conference first team. Didn't get to play a ton of minutes last year for Melbourne United. Did play in 19 games, but minimal impact 2.5 points, 1 rebound a game. But he's getting a chance to play a bit more, and possibly why he made the move across town this season. Really good fit for Josh King's system. And if he can continue to play like that and have an impact on both ends of the floor, stretch the floor, but also attack on the interior, rebound, and be a bit of a secondary rim protector, then he's going to find a role in this lineup, and he's going to be part of that rotation. So he's certainly done himself a lot of favours so far in this preseason.
Well, that wraps it up for us here at the State Basketball Centre in the Heartland. That's the final time these two teams take the floor before the NBL Blitz. There is still a few more NBL preseason games coming up tomorrow, live in Cairns. The Cairns Taipans and the Brisbane Bullets live from 2 p.m. Melbourne time.
Good old-fashioned sunshine stoush.
Oh, I cannot wait for that one. A couple more Cairns players hopefully in the lineup for that one.
And a good chance to get a look at a first look at this new Brisbane Bullets roster, adding Jalen Adams and a number of other pieces as well. So a lot to like about there.
And then next Thursday, following the Blitz. Of course, we've got the Blitz in between that as well. It wasn't showing up on my list.
Blitz kicks off on Wednesday. And I know Melbourne United's taking on Perth Wildcats. I think that's the first game of the Blitz, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Live at 5:30.
Indeed.
And then Melbourne United on Saturday taking on the Brisbane Bullets at 5:30 for the Phoenix. Friday night against the New Zealand Breakers, 5:30 p.m. All these Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then the Sydney Kings Sunday at 3:30. Plenty of basketball coming up in the lead-up to NBL26 when Melbourne United head down to Tasmania to take on the Jack Jumpers. That's all from us here at the State Basketball Centre. It's Melbourne United 7-point winners, 101-107.